an offbeat character,
hey guys, it's Miranda,
and a loyal fan base. That was all Colleen Ballinger needed to secure a YouTube empire, complete with her own Netflix series and comedy special. But with every spotlight comes peering eyes ready to expose any missteps.
He was a child. He's not even the only child that she was talking to.
It appears the same fans Colleen's success hinged upon are ready to speak out against the creator.
A lot of us didn't have friends in real life, and they preyed on that.
This is who she really is. She uses kids for her own gain.
And risk their own safety.
I just can't believe that me, my family, my animals, my friends are all being threatened because of Colleen Ballinger.
To expose an alleged truth that has been suppressed for years.
Colleen Ballinger fans. For her own benefit. She's done it to me.
She's also asking, what's your favorite position? These are children.
Oh, he's cute. He could be my next bang.
She's known in this industry through the grapevine as being a massive talker.
And I'm not talking about true potatoes, I'm talking about a whale.
Like, who am I protecting? Well, where's the protection for me?
Hoping you smell fertile.
She's an evil person. I've seen it, and now you're seeing it.
And bring down those who've exploited their associations to the YouTuber along the way.
Here's proof that we messaged.
I was personally affected by Josh's manipulation, and he can't go under the radar.
I love you. You're beautiful. You're wonderful.
Corey is a creepy man.
All building to one question. Is this the end of the road for one of YouTube's most influential creators? Early June, a time typically encapsulated by the first backyard barbecues of the year, dips in the water, and much-needed boosts of vitamin D, all SPF-required activities that just go to show how different the IRL and virtual can be. See, while millions of households were gearing up for summer, one online community was preparing for battle, former fans of the Ballinger fandom. The first signs of revolt began on June 3rd, the day former fan Cody Rance posted a YouTube video explaining why they left the Ballinger fandom, an ellipsis that in no way foreshadowed the drama to come.
Good job. You really manipulated me. Good job.
But before we can go into Cody's recent video, we first have to understand the past. 3 years ago, in 2020, Colleen almost lost her career after a longtime fan and former intern exposed her suspicious behavior. His name is Adam McIntyre, and he shocked the internet with a YouTube video accusing the then 34-year-old Colleen of forming an inappropriate friendship with him while he was 13 to 16 years old. He accused her of sending him her lingerie and deserting him due to backlash she received over a tweet he ghost wrote that Colleen initially approved.
She was slowly starting to put the blame and guilt onto me for stuff that she had already approved and was going to tweet on her own whether she had given me the password or not. I got left unread and I was ignored from this point on.
Colleen responded quickly with her own video addressing what she had done while simultaneously poking holes in Adam's story, including an allegation that Adam had asked Colleen for the undergarments in the first place.
I should have realized and recognized how dumb that was and never sent it to him no matter how much he asked. It was a silly, stupid mistake that now is being blown way out of proportion.
And in just under 14 minutes, it seemed Colleen accomplished what's nearly impossible in an age of mass cancellations. She was forgiven. During this time, the Ballinger fandom protected Colleen's reputation, and she even personally reached out to a fan, Cody, to share her perspective and private DMs she had with Adam. Cody then crafted a video that spun the narrative in Colleen's favor, and in the process, helped turn the internet against Adam. Fast forward to June 2023.
I've gotten to the point in my life where I'm just like, F it, I'm just gonna talk about what I wanna talk about.
Cody publicly announced they're no longer in the Ballinger fandom, explaining in hindsight they believe they were doing Colleen's dirty work.
I want people to understand this and all of this is all manipulation. They were planning this. You can't tell me that this wasn't strategy. They were trying to get me to make the video so they could see the backlash that I would get with talking badly about Adam, so they knew what they could talk about.
At the time, being a big Ballinger fan, Cody wanted to impress their idol.
I was so excited when she messaged me. I was like,
oh my god, she's confiding in me.
I was gonna be her knight in shining armor, right? Saw that and I was like, oh my god, he was lying. Y'all, I was trying to get her to tell me stuff. I wanted her to like me, okay? I didn't actually know if he was lying or not. I didn't care. I wanted her to notice me.
And while Cody may have released their burdens by telling the truth, Adam was reminded of how he was the subject of mockery for years after Cody's 2020 video about him.
It's now been confirmed that she was on a smear campaign of me, and like my idol in every sense of the word was like actively trying to take me down.
In fact, according to Adam, after he came forward, Colleen completely rewrote her Miranda Sings show to being about how you can profit off of being cancelled, and used various skits to make fun of Adam and belittle him.
You have to do an apology video. It'll go viral, and then you will become very, very famous, okay? This is your only chance at saving yourself and not getting canceled. And go.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's terrible. You can't actually apologize. Oh, that person you saw, that wasn't me. I don't even know who that is anymore.
For a short while, Adam was grateful Cody told the truth and forgave them. That is, until Cody unlisted their video and later privating it altogether.
I will leave the video up. I'm sorry that I unlisted it for the small amount of time that I did. It wasn't because I was not sorry anymore. It's just, it's a lot. It's just so much to have all these people attack me.
It turned out Cody was receiving backlash for stirring drama as a grown adult.
I just want to take all of my videos down and leave. I think isn't that what you want, right? When you give me this criticism, isn't that what you want? Like, don't you want me to not have a platform because you don't like the things I did? Isn't me this giving you that? It's fake crying, see what I mean? Like, there's nothing I could do.
Cody addressed the controversy in a 2-hour live stream before removing themselves from social media. But one particular part stuck out to viewers, causing everyone to question Cody's motives.
You have said twice that the reason you wanted to make this video was because Corey blocked you.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons.
Not because you wanted the truth out, but because Corey blocked you.
He blocked me a year ago. If it was because Corey blocked me, I would have made it a year ago. The reason that I wanted to share the story is because of me.
Adam quickly turned against Cody.
I'm sorry. You held on to information that would have cleared me for 3 years. Can we see how closely it could have been that no one would have been on my side, because we could have never got this information if Corey did not have blocked Cody?
And this horrible situation all stemmed from Colleen. But this time, the public wasn't going to let her go unscathed. Actually, this time, Colleen, her family, and coworkers were all in the hot seat. Adam shared a side-by-side comparison, exposing how Colleen edited out crucial context, revealing the opposite of what Colleen alleged 3 years ago.
He said, hi, you have ugly clothes, but I want those ratchet and bras signed by Corey because he modeled them well. Do you want the bra, Adam?
Do you want the bra? Tweet right now.
I'm sending him something. Okay, maybe he'll want the... Although then his parents will be like, you're not allowed to watch who is sending you... Even Mom, don't worry. I watched a boy wear them online first.
This footage wasn't the only victim of Colleen's manipulation. In hindsight, Adam believed Colleen's friendship with him was just as tactical as her relationship with Cody and other fans. He recalled as a teen, Colleen simply had to say someone offended her, and Adam would launch a virtual tirade against them. And just the same, if Colleen confided in him about her ex-husband, he would dig up dirt on his icon's former flame allegedly cheating during their marriage. Colleen didn't have to ask. He would do anything for her. And according to Adam, Colleen knew this. The same way she knew by allegedly promising one-on-one hangouts, special privileges, or to support Adam's creative pursuits, she'd earn his loyalty, even if she flaked in the end.
I had created my own merchandise. I was so excited she's gonna wear that to the meet and greet, because I had just now done all these things for her, and spoiler, she didn't wear it to the meet and greet.
So Colleen allegedly continued to string Adam along, using the then teen for years, until one mistake proved just how disposable he was to the YouTuber.
I believe that she literally wanted me to not exist anymore so she wouldn't have had to have posted a video because I would have been gone. Do you know how harsh of a statement that is.
And the aftermath of this perceived betrayal forced Adam to come to a painful realization.
This woman used me. This woman me.
But there were other allegations that reached Adam through texts from people who had been involved in Colleen's childhood cancer fundraisers that he couldn't bear repeating without giving Colleen the chance to prove them wrong.
I've donated. Thousands of people have donated. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars every single year. You're not being accused of anything. Please show the receipts of every single year, the exact amount of money that you donated to the exact amount of organizations and the amount of money that you personally donated as well. Please show it.
And although Colleen hadn't spoken out, there was one person who jumped to the YouTuber's defense amid the uproar. Her bestie, Corey DeSoto. "Wow, what an idiot," Corey allegedly replied to a fan who asked for proof Colleen hadn't pocketed the money. "You do the work. Call Family Reach. Call Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. Call the families that watch their child pass. There's your receipts. You call and they will tell you how much she donated." But then again, how could the public trust the word of Corey, someone who was also being accused of misusing their power? That's right, Corey's being exposed too. Like Adam, Johnny joined the fandom as a teenager, at just 15 years old. And also like Adam, Johnny was ready to share his grievances with the world.
I just don't want to sit back anymore and watch repeat offenders get away with doing this to people.
Except it wasn't Colleen that had allegedly traumatized Johnny, but her assistant Corey.
It's repeated offenses, it's tactical, it's evil, manipulative. I can't stay silent anymore.
It all started in 2018, the year he was invited to work on the Miranda Sings tour.
That was something that I thought was going to be life-changing for me, and it was, in all the ways I didn't expect.
This was a big deal for Johnny as someone who grew up without friends and being made fun of until he left school. To find friendship in a group of people he adored was everything to Johnny.
It was addicting. I didn't want to lose that.
And it was likely this sense of connection that kept the fans silent, even when he should have spoken out.
I wanted to believe that the connections I had with him, the friendships, the interactions, they were authentic and they were genuine, but they just never were.
Similarly to Adam, Johnny allegedly made one misstep that cost him big time. One night in New Jersey, Johnny, who by then was 22, had slept in the hotel room while his frequent roommate, 36-year-old Corey, slept on the bus. A decision Corey made himself despite Johnny allegedly suggesting that they share the room. However, the next morning, Corey was angry and accused Johnny of stealing his room.
He's worked for his title. He has licked the floor clean where Colleen has walked to get his title. Blah, 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 blah.
From there on, Johnny's rights to a room were revoked, meaning he had to sleep on the bus and shower at venues.
Hi guys, got the bus to myself tonight. You know what that means.
And this continued until Colleen's parents and sister Rachel arrived on tour and took pity on him.
They were my safety net. They allowed me to use their showers, hang out in their rooms on days off because I was completely blacklisted.
But in Johnny's words, this didn't stop Corey from making his life a living hell that summer. Once Corey started seeing that I was good at my job, that's when it all went downhill. He didn't like when I got praise or recognition. It would only put more of a target on me and make the bullying worse. He is literally the reason I wasn't asked back. Corey allegedly continued to haze Johnny by telling the fan he had to stay in the basement while they filmed a Netflix special, and once backing him into a corner to say,
"Look how many followers you have versus me. I'm your superior."
And while Colleen made it seem like she was on Johnny's side, her inaction at best enabled Corey, and at worst, made her complicit.
Colleen allowed all of it to happen. The entire crew let it happen. They watched me get mentally for an entire summer.
On top of Corey's alleged behavior, Johnny appeared to be underpaid, allegedly receiving $120 to $140 per show, doing 12+ hour workdays. Still, in a wishful attempt to hold on to what he'd believed were genuine friendships, Johnny decided to attend a Miranda show a few months ago, and even received a backstage pass. But this decision didn't end well.
No one acknowledged I was there. I sat there for like 45 minutes. Until she finally came out and pretended she didn't know I was there.
And Johnny claimed Colleen's tour manager eventually approached him and asked if he could leave after soundcheck.
And I walked right up to Colleen after that and I said, "Do you not want me back here?" because I've been made to feel like you guys don't want me back here. And she was like, oh my God, no, blah, blah, blah. Like, I want you here. I'm gonna talk to him. And in my mind, I was like, oh, she had my back. But no, she didn't. No, she didn't. She just was scared of me running off and doing what I'm doing now, telling my story.
But there was someone else Johnny wanted to call out, a person whose alleged behavior warranted its own video, Colleen's ex-husband, Joshua David Evans. According to Johnny, when he was 16 years old, he met Josh and Colleen in New York and asked them to sign a paper crown, an opportunity Colleen's now ex took an extra liberty with.
I'm not gonna show the whole thing, but that looks like a phone number to me. That's your phone number.
And according to Johnny, that was just the beginning of Josh reaching out.
I started getting invited to shows. I started getting asked to do little YouTube collaborations here and there. And you always told me that I was like a brother to you, and that if you ever made it big, you were gonna take me with you.
And as an aspiring YouTuber, Johnny was grateful to have Josh play Big Brother, even if it involved doing unpaid work like running a Twitter account for the YouTuber.
He's gonna overtake me someday in every factor of life. You don't get my woman though.
I respect that.
But then Josh and Colleen divorced, and the man who had felt like family allegedly removed himself from Johnny's life.
This man I literally felt like was an older brother to me. He just ghosted me. He went ghost.
And while Johnny claimed Josh recently reached out to him with an apology, of sorts,
you clearly wanted a deeper connection, and then I ghosted you. For me, it felt innocent, but to you, you were too young to understand boundaries. That was absolutely my responsibility. I ghosted you because I didn't know how to tell you it was getting excessive.
The time for amends was over. And it wasn't just Colleen's former fans being called out online. The Ballinger family is also experiencing their own reckoning. On Twitter, various people have come forward accusing Colleen's brother Trent Ballinger of sending unsettling and creepy messages to them as teenagers. And there was one alleged victim that came forward with receipts.
Here's proof that we messaged, and then I can click here and it's him. Right here. Yep.
That's Ollie, and those are Twitter DMs they'd allegedly received during the ages of 13 to 14 from Trent, a man who'd been in his 30s at the time. And it appeared sharing these messages in a Twitter thread was an act of rebellion, as it went against the promise no adult should request of a teenager, to never share their conversations. I'm told not to talk to people under 18. I do so just to spread positivity, Trent allegedly told Ollie, but he seemed to be doing a lot more than that. For example, when Ollie questioned their sexuality, Trent allegedly implied Ollie was too young to put a label on themselves. Why do you think you're gay? Trent allegedly wrote. I don't know, because I think I am, Ollie responded. I don't think you are yet, Trent allegedly replied. Ollie's screenshots showed Trent counting down to when the teen would be able to attend shows without their mother's permission, which also happened to be the age of consent, 18. Trent even offered for Ollie to stay with him for a week or two when Ollie is older and moves to California. I thought you were 16, he allegedly messaged once. I have a problem. Then there were other disturbing moments the screenshots appeared to expose, including the numerous times Trent referred to Ollie by the nickname Peapod, his request for video of the teen hugging someone, the question of whether Ollie wanted kids, Trent's habit of sending pictures of Ollie to Ollie, and making comments about how Ollie would look good preg, but just has to find a guy that's okay with intimacy with you. You kinda look like my last girlfriend in that gif, Trent said after sending Ollie a gif of themselves. Colleen's brother would also allegedly call Ollie cute and pretty, comment on how tiny they were, and send dirty jokes that a man in his 30s shouldn't be messaging a teenager. Trent also allegedly had requests for the teen. For example, he allegedly didn't want Ollie cutting their hair short, taking breaks from Twitter, or even going to sleep. And if Twitter DMs weren't enough, Trent allegedly offered his phone number, which Ollie declined. Trent even worried about their adult-teen friendship fading away. The screenshots also expose an apparent fixation Trent had with Ollie's sexuality and relationship with their best friend. Trent allegedly suggested one tweet sounded like Ollie and a friend were having intimate relations, an interaction Ollie can now see clearly cross the line, tweeting, "In what world is a grown man talking about a 13 and a 15-year-old having okay, and to the 13-year-old?" And when it wasn't about Ollie's best friend, it would be about their crush. In one screenshot, Trent allegedly claimed his parents wouldn't let him video chat anymore out of fear he'd get in trouble. "Oh, why would it get you in trouble?" Ollie asked. "'Cause your parents could take it in wrong way, like I'd do something horrible to you," he responded. Then there was the matter of Colleen's sister, Rachel Ballinger. A Twitter user by the name of Danny claimed their relationship with Rachel started to get weird at 13, with cameo requests that started off as normal.
This is the cameo you wanted? I'm just rambling. Am I supposed to be entertaining? There's not even an entertaining bone in my body anymore.
But then crossed boundaries according to the teen.
I love you. You're beautiful. You're wonderful. I don't like calling you a fan. You're a friend.
And when Danny started drifting away from the fandom, she alleged Rachel would use her in thumbnails for videos and talked about how she missed Danny on live. The Ballinger siblings weren't the only ones in hot water. Tim Ballinger, Colleen's father, was also called into question. While it seemed Tim didn't have any inappropriate friendships within the fandom, people noticed one mistake he made on social media. Tim had a public playlist on his YouTube channel titled Want, showing women with inflated bellies. And while many people are free to enjoy different desires, Johnny pointed out this wasn't the issue. That entire family caters to a child audience. Every kid who watches the Ballinger family on YouTube was one click away from fetish content. But when it came to inappropriate behavior, no one was receiving more backlash than Colleen. See, with Miranda as her signature character, Colleen had built a career on pushing boundaries, especially when the youth of her viewership is considered.
All this time I thought I was a virgin. I'm not a virgin anymore. At me at all times. A tiny I just wanted a baby. I didn't want a boy.
Oh, he's cute. He could be my next babe.
Lips around it.
Gilbert said, "Corey, since you're part Japanese, what is the meaning of..."
Came across this, just gonna leave it here. And while this might have worked online, when it came to involving fans on tour, the line between comedy and controversy seemed to blur. One tour skit that's being heavily criticized involves Miranda choosing a fan in a revealing outfit to come on stage to call their ensemble. The word Miranda had repurposed to refer to anything she found scandalous.
All it takes is a little breeze and I'll see all the bits. So this is a very good example of what you don't want to dress like. So this is...
And Colleen having a young audience meant those who were chosen to participate were often teens, who then had their clothing and body analyzed in front of everyone. Naturally, this enticed fans to dress the part for the chance to be called on stage, which is exactly what former supporter Becky did. However, she was called up for the yoga challenge instead.
So we get to the point in the yoga challenge where I am laying down and Colleen is spreading my legs basically as far as she can. I was laying under Colleen and she was smirking down at me while thousands of people were laughing, and I was terrified that my body wasn't covered enough.
As for the punchline, well, as Miranda held the teen on stage, a juvenile sound effect cued laughter. And these weren't the only concerning bits from the shows. There was the cheese ball sketch where Miranda would ask a young audience member to reach into the bag of cheese balls she'd placed deep in her pants.
You want a cheese ball? Do you want a cheese ball?
I'd love them. I can't believe I'm reaching in there right now.
A request even some young fans seemed uncomfortable with.
I tried to get him to get like a cheese ball like from my pants, and he was like, "No, not gonna happen." And he was really serious, and I was like, "Okay, whatever, like that's not a big deal." So then I tried to get him to kiss me on my cheek, and he was like, "No."
There was also Miranda's Story of My Birth, a skit Johnny had taken part in as a teenager that involved an audience member playing Miranda's mother, while Miranda took on the role of her creepy uncle.
Oh, how are you doing, dear sister-in-law? I can't wait for you to give birth to this, my niece. I love little girls.
And a nurse.
Just push on your tukey really hard.
Johnny was just a teenager, and some of the other audience participants, well, they were only kids.
Oh, you smell fertile.
But the blame can't be entirely placed on Miranda skits. From racist to ableist to just plain uncomfortable, there is no line Colleen's personal comedic stylings haven't crossed. Even if that means making a joke out of SA.
Oh, I was gonna you, but if you're into the covers, that is way too much work. There's boys in there. Are they gonna try to
and I'm gonna leave before I get having issues with your man checking out another woman, then that just means that you're not sexy enough for him. So why don't you take off your clothes and
or transgressing these same bounds in her personal life.
Her hand is down my pants right now. That's not. It's okay. I'm her husband. What are you doing? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Seriously, baby, this is the vlog. I'm not editing this out.
He's mad at me right now because he doesn't like it if my hand is on or near his butt, and that's where I put my hand.
And much like her character Miranda, the only time kids seemed to be considered in Colleen's comedy was when they were positioned as the punchline to an inappropriate joke.
There are leaks all over my house right now, and every time it rains, it leaks, just like a teenage girl's.
A little child just ran up to me. That's him, if you can see that. He wanted me to blow his bubbles. That sounds really dirty.
And this behavior didn't end here. It was also present in her self-help book, described as an unhelpful, candid, hilarious how-to guide. While intended to be hilarious, the jokes appeared 18+, something her young audience shouldn't be subject to.
There's some really questionable things in this book that I read as a 12-year-old girl who was obsessed with this person. Obsessed.
Many former fans shared the disturbing pages, which revealed things like promoting taboo relations.
This is a picture of her uncle's house where you can play with your daddy's saddle. Uncle talks about headshots. I just find the photo on the top left to be a little strange in the position it's in. And also that middle photo is obviously a photo that he took without her knowing. Just like a weird thing to put in a book that you know children are reading. These photos are pictures her uncle took on how to sleep. Bottom right, her mouth is open. Middle photo on the right, she's clearly in a position. You could say the same about the top right, but like, obviously she knew what she was doing, and I just think it's weird to put in a children's book.
How to draw female genitalia menstruating.
There's a mistake, and I'm really bummed. There's a mistake on every page, but there's like truly a mistake on this page. So it teaches you how to draw a hot dog when it's supposed to look like a... The fifth step is to add ketchup. And I wanted ketchup on the page, but we forgot to add it. And so, because I wanted to look like a nasty with blood on it, because I'm...
Using the P word to describe revealing outfits.
The worst page of them all is the page. I know that this isn't technically, but knowing that children are going to read this and might be curious, oh, what is... and they look that up.
Secretly making inappropriate comments about young people.
How to do children. What? Babysitting tips. If you have a crying baby, problems, fixes, put something in his mouth. I guess that's an oral fixation, but still.
More inappropriate language sprinkled throughout.
This page depicted different types of cuddling, and was one of the options. Not a big deal, but just off-putting.
This is for TTTTTs, but are you kidding me? That's for...
And harmful ideas.
This is by far the most disgusting thing I've ever read. As you have read, babies are useless until they get older. Eventually, they will become toddlers, or as I like to call them, that's right there.
And if fans didn't have money for her book, they could still read her disturbing humor online. So disturbing, we won't be repeating it here. As we know, Colleen also formed relationships with her fans online, but there was one chat she seemed to favor, made up mostly of young fans, a group called the Weenies. And now the private messages Colleen had allegedly sent the group had been leaked by former members for public consumption and criticism.
Here's one. Are you a virgin? She's also asking, what's your favorite position? These are children.
Those messages were sent to one member of the chat specifically, Adam, who'd been asking for questions for his Q&A. Another leaked chat included Adam again. This time, Adam made a comment about his bottom looking great, to which Colleen allegedly responded, "Pics, Adam." Other messages to the Weenies showed Colleen allegedly asking members about their menstruation and requesting that everyone reenact a video she sent, putting a tampon in her mouth, something she later had fans do for a photo op. So how did those involved in the chat feel about the messages an adult had sent them as teens? Well, according to a video call Adam had with former members of the Weenies, at the time, they were just grateful their idol was acknowledging their presence, no matter what limit she chose to overstep.
Whenever she was on that Hawaii trip, she would send me Snapchats of like Eric shirtless getting off of the pool, and she would caption it and be like, so sexy. And I mean, I was like 15 at this time.
But with age came wisdom and clarity.
I feel like it's like a different perspective. You're like, oh my God, why would someone ever say that thing to someone? You're like, wait, that was literally me.
And this wasn't the only group chat that was hard for fans to look back on. Colleen's bestie, Corey, had his own chat named Corey's, well, something that doesn't need repeating. And while the group allegedly contained a fair number of teens, Corey also refused to censor himself. Leaked screenshots show Corey allegedly asking questions about intimate areas, bodily functions, and speaking about his alcohol and mind-altering substance use. But the conversations in these chats were more than inappropriate. After all, Colleen also had a notorious mean streak.
She is the most hateful, shadiest. I love her. Like, whenever we hang out, literally the first words out of her mouth are, okay, like, what do you got? Who do you hate? Who's next? Like, just going in on everybody. I love it.
And it appeared messages with fans were just one way Colleen had fed this appetite for gossip.
She used to talk those fans, and we used to talk them back with her because it was so normal to us, which is so sad.
The YouTuber allegedly used the chat to supply fans with nasty details about her ex-husband Joshua and his new wife.
I remember specifically there was one night where one of us was talking about doing homework, and we were asking for homework advice, and she came into the chat and was like, Josh was screaming at me, and we're like,
yeah.
We're like, girl.
And allegedly asked her fans to go after users on her behalf.
She would send people after people who were bullying her. Like, she would see hate comments, post them in group chats, and tell us to attack people.
In a recent interview with HuffPost, Joshua confirmed he was getting threats from the Ballinger fandom. She's going to use them to be the voice for her so she doesn't say it, so it doesn't come back to something she said online publicly, Joshua explained. He also denied the narrative Colleen crafted about him. She would equate me having issues with some of the behavior to I am emotionally abusing her. And I was like, how do you jump from one to the other? People have arguments, people have disagreements. But to say I'm emotionally abusive, you can't take those words back, especially when you let that out into the online space. And it just snowballed and got bigger and bigger and bigger. Adam, who was involved in the negative conversations about Joshua, apologized to him both privately and publicly.
I want to extend the biggest apology to him. I spent years just coming at this man because he did not deserve anything that came his way.
Colleen, on the other hand, had a pattern of talking about people behind their back. She even went in on someone she appears to be on good terms with, the co-host of her new podcast, Trisha Paytas. Former fan Johnny claimed Colleen and her friends had subscribed to Trisha Paytas's OF and had viewing parties for the sole purpose of making fun of Trisha and her body. And Adam recalled laughing at Trisha's content with Colleen, tweeting, Trisha, Colleen and I used to send your OF pics and videos and make fun of how you looked, by the way. I was 15, Colleen was in her 30s. Although he later clarified this was Patreon, not OF content, meaning this was a long-time ridicule, as Trisha got publicity for her risky photos on Patreon in 2019 and OF in 2021. Even publicly on YouTube, it seemed Colleen couldn't help herself from making fun of her co-host.
Yeah, we just give it. I'm not talking about Trisha Paytas, I'm talking about O'Veil.
And when it came to trash talking certain members of the fandom, Colleen was also allegedly an active participant.
We made jokes about this person, and this was a common theme where we would find someone in the fandom that was doing something bizarre, and it would become an inside joke where we'd make fun of them.
Adam recalled a specific fan who was ridiculed, who made the now regrettable decision to tattoo Colleen's name on their wrist.
We all used to, with a Sharpie and a pen, literally redo the tattoo and make fun of her and make fun of her mental health for being like, why would someone want to do that? And Colleen would partake in those conversations.
But of course, Colleen's public displays directly contradicted what she allegedly said in private.
And then Colleen would be posting her meet and greet photos with said person, saying how much she loves her and appreciates her. She even posted about this tattoo, how much she loves this tattoo.
Similarly, Corey was also known to use online conversations to stir the pot, including allegedly messaging two fans privately in an attempt to get them to turn on each other and taunt certain members, as one former fan named Abby tweeted, "Really interesting to hear that I was being horribly taunted in a group chat when I was a child, and that behavior was being fostered by Corey, a grown man, who would turn around and act like he was my best friend on the timeline? Really processing." And it's tough to accept all of this because at the time, Colleen was the only person of power standing up for me, blocking people that were cruel, and I still appreciate that. But behind the scenes, her best friend was encouraging people to taunt me in private group chats? And it seemed even Miranda could be an outlet for cruelty.
Do you ever mean what she's saying?
Yes, all the time. There's a lot of times where in character I'll say something so cruel or, you know, something I'm thinking but I would never actually say as myself. And it's very liberating to be able to say things that I'm thinking.
Can I give you some advice?
Yes.
Never tell people when those moments are.
But to someone who knew Colleen, these moments didn't require pointing out. They were clear as day. According to Johnny, he'd witnessed Colleen use the character to poke fun at her ex-husband. I'll never forget her handing me her phone saying, "Record this," and winking at me, then running out onto stage with "Want You Want Me" by Jason Derulo blaring into the audience because I told her that her ex plagiarized him the night before. Oops, did I say too much? Then again, it seemed the entire Miranda persona was rooted in hatred. As Johnny alleged, she bases pieces of Miranda off of her disabled relative. She literally told me that to my face. She told others this in the fandom. I know that for a fact, but I can't confirm who. She specifically mentioned getting a kick out of this family member's episodes and would take note during them for Miranda content, mannerisms, etc. But as allegations continue to chip away at the YouTuber's legacy, how is Colleen handling the backlash? For a little over 3 weeks, Colleen was intent on ignoring the situation, even to her own detriment, as she blocks the backlash, continues selling her old cancelled merch, and uses poorly aged viewer responses as a backdrop, while performing to her allegedly dwindling audiences where she shouts Miranda's signature catchphrase that's now more pertinent than ever. But despite the brave face, some have pointed out that Colleen seems scared. To onlookers, it appears Colleen is gripping her microphone a little harder, surrounding herself with more security, and interacting with fans with increased caution.
Oh, hi. You. Hi. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. What's your name? Rumor. Rumor? Oh my gosh. Rumor has it. Hello. Love that. Hi. Oh my gosh. Thank you. That's so nice. Thank you.
But Colleen isn't the only one experiencing fallout after the now deleted video from Cody was posted on June 3rd. Both Johnny and Adam have expressed that their trauma had been unwillingly dredged up by Cody, who now appeared to be just as guilty as Colleen in participating in chats with young fans as an adult and twisting the truth in their favor.
Cody Tyler also manipulated the narrative because Cody went to Colleen and said, "Hey, you need to address Adam's video," and Colleen ignores her. And then Cody goes on to say, "Okay, I'm gonna paint him as the villain. I'm gonna paint him as an evil, manipulative person who took advantage of you."
And now Adam and former members of the Weenies were being bombarded with threatening messages from Colleen fans, which forced Adam to file police reports in both Ireland and England, after users searched for his address and his family gave him reason to believe their threats weren't so empty.
This is all stemming from me speaking about something that someone else brought up that was my childhood trauma that now I had to address then.
But perhaps this reaction from Colleen fans is symptomatic of something deeper, a fandom that's allegedly toxic to its core. See, while Colleen, Corey, and members of the Ballinger family might have hung out with fans socially, joked with them, and confided in online chats like they were talking to old friends.
Hey everyone, it's Corey. First of all, I just want to say that, I love all of you. You honestly mean so much to me.
Oh my god.
You have no idea. I know that it sounds weird because I'm a full-grown adult and some of you are younger. I honestly think of all of you as my best friends. I don't have friends.
There was an unspoken power dynamic that Colleen didn't acknowledge, but her supporters couldn't ignore, as they bent over backwards to make the YouTuber and her entourage happy, even if that meant doing unpaid labor to the point of collapse or donating their grocery money for a shout-out.
No!
Oh, she's not eating.
Oh my god.
Want my pizza? You can eat my merch.
The power imbalance between Colleen and her fans in terms of wealth, status, and age was clear, and in the eyes of former supporter Adam McIntyre, calculated.
I know that other people have examples like that where she would literally make promises to people in order to get them to do things, or she would act so interested in your life or whatever to get you to do something. And I'm sorry, that is.
While Adam's attempt to stand up for himself as a teenager failed, with other former members of the fandom now standing at his side, the former fan seemed confident his second shot wouldn't miss.
And she knowingly was doing it because she knew that a 17-year-old could not fight back. You know what though? A 20-year-old can. A 20-year-old can.
And this time, it seemed the public was on his side. I don't think some people really understand the gravity of this Colleen Ballinger situation, so let's put it into perspective. If a grown man sent a child a pair of was in group chats with kids asking them about positions, virginity, what their period experience was like, etc., and among other things, y'all would call him a disgusting perv. I just want to remind everyone that Colleen is 36 years old and every allegation against her was made with Colleen being a full-grown adult. She is not a child and is very more than capable of being held accountable. I hope she does hold herself accountable and learn from her behavior, not just for her sake, but for her kids. On June 23rd, just 3 weeks since Cody's exposed video, Colleen decided to leave the Weenies Instagram group chat, shocking the public with her continued presence in the group chat up until that point. Colleen did this in silence with no social media updates and no response to media outlets. Then, just 5 days later on June 28th, Colleen broke her silence with an apology video that would make YouTube history, although for the wrong reasons. We've seen Laura Lee's crocodile tears, Logan Paul's forced 2-minute apology, James Charles admitting I'm desperate, Shane Dawson detaching from his past by referring to himself as that person, David Dobrik's I Missed the Mark, Sienna May's interpretive dance after finding self-love and learning and growing, and so much more. But never have we seen an apology song.
Hey, it's been a while since you saw my face.
And not just any song. For 10 minutes, Colleen Ballinger played ukulele while referring to her backlash as the toxic gossip train.
All aboard the toxic gossip train.
Let's dive deeper into the video. First and foremost, the reason for singing? Colleen's team advised her not to speak on the allegations, but much like Kat Valentine said in an episode of Victorious,
I never said that I couldn't sing what I want to say.
Despite all the allegations, Colleen was adamant it was just gossip, misinformation, manipulation. Her cancellation was simply for entertainment and clout. Throughout the song, Colleen addressed 4 topics out of the many allegations. 1. The Weenies group chat. Despite only recently leaving the Instagram group chat, Colleen claimed she stopped messaging fans years ago. As for behavior in past group chats, she said,
But not in a creepy way, where I was just trying to be besties with everybody.
2. Trauma dumping on fans. She claimed she already took accountability because she hasn't overshared in years. She blamed her oversharing nature on her YouTube career and claimed she didn't know better.
I didn't really understand that maybe there should be some boundaries.
3. The Miranda Sings character. Similar to Shane Dawson's taking accountability apology, Colleen detaches herself from the persona she created as that girl.
I also wanted to take a minute to talk about that girl Miranda Sings.
Colleen said she wasn't responsible for her young Miranda fans as she already rated her live shows PG-13 and her channel is Aside from the singing, Colleen also made theatrical expressions and sang with more angst when addressing the so-called toxic gossip train.
You don't need any armor when you can hide behind a screen. So shoot me down quick, hit the click, and bam! You
jokes in poor taste and dumb mistakes, but dismissed them based on intention.
But was my intention to manipulate? No.
And just when she appeared to apologize, it was followed by a backhanded compliment.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that all of you are perfect.
Colleen ended the song in a passive-aggressive manner.
But what do I know? Me, right?
What in the actual was the common response to Colleen's bizarre way of addressing such serious allegations? Naturally, most people were shocked and upset. She's obviously not taking the situation seriously if she's singing this in a song. Girl, we've seen the messages. You cannot say this isn't true. What is going on? 5 years ago, you were 31, a full-blown adult. It was not a fart joke. It isn't for children to come forward and talk frankly about their... God, she's insufferable. Poor me, poor me. Not the fact you traumatized kids. You mean to tell me she wrote, rehearsed, and rehearsed, sat down to film this, and still thought it was a good idea? Girl, you're delusional. Some directly countered her lyrics. Not in a creepy way, I was just trying to be besties, kinda like in a family gathering. So you're telling me in a family gathering you're going to be asking young children if they're and to stick tampons in their mouth? What? Didn't realize that all of you are perfect. Babe, yeah, none of us kids. A lot of people are saying things that aren't quite true. I don't know, Colleen. I think the literal photos and videos, including clips from your own videos, are pretty solid proof that you need to rethink your choices in life. Several longtime fans have changed their view on Colleen. It doesn't matter if you've never had any bad intentions. Effect goes over intention always. Honestly, so disappointing. This video shows who you really are, and it's not good, Colleen. Your impact was damaging and traumatic to children who idolized you. I really thought I knew you for the past 8 years. Then for you to come on and sing an apology and not take any of this serious, it just hurts badly. If I could take back the 6 years I spent watching her and her family, I would. Some of the alleged victims have also responded.
I don't even know what to say about this video. It is so completely unhinged.
I need to come on here and take accountability is what she just said. Have you? Have you? Where? Where? You've made fun of us this entire video.
She is not PG-13. She is rated R. She is rated X. Mamas. Don't get it twisted. Ratings aren't always accurate, clearly. Mind you, a rating you gave yourself.
And I can't believe how many times she contradicted herself in a song that she very clearly planned out about it being lies, but then saying that it did happen.
Listen, girl, I'm not saying Colleen is some god-awful person. You can do shitty things in your life and have moments of redemption. The problem, Colleen, is you're trying to play it off like you've learned your lesson and you haven't been talking to kids for years. Well, why were you talking to them for 10 years to begin with? Because it started with my group of friends, fans, and then once we got older and lost interest, you leached onto the younger group and the new generation of fans. And you were gonna keep doing that if we didn't put a stop to it.
She also refused to apologize to me or anybody, privately or publicly.
Still, there were many remaining in the Ballinger fandom who believed in her. Many fans who didn't want her to leave, who excused her mistakes, believed she had good intentions, thought she was iconic, and so much more. And while it seems she was getting an overwhelming amount of comforting comments under her YouTube video, the like-to-dislike ratio doesn't lie. Using a browser extension, we screen captured the bar showing an 87% dislike ratio after 20 hours. For now, many people are still waiting to see if Colleen will address the situation in a more serious manner.
And during the wait, much more has unfolded. Cody, who reopened the conversation about Colleen in the first place, made their video public again, along with an apology to viewers and Adam. Colleen's ex-husband Joshua stood by victims, claiming he dealt with Colleen's gaslighting behavior for 7 years anytime he spoke up against her actions. And while Johnny alleged Joshua was just as nasty as Colleen is, others were waiting for more incriminating evidence. A Redditor found videos of Miranda Sings on the YouTube Kids app, contradicting what Colleen sang in her Taking Accountability song. However, it appeared these videos are not posted by Colleen, but cameo appearances she made in other channels. Still, people found this scummy and wondered why she collaborated with kid content creators anyway. April Cordo-Keough, an assistant of writing, show running, and writer's production on Colleen's Netflix show Haters Back Off, exposed the toxic work environment on set in 2016. April alleged Colleen had concerns about having POC background actors, exhibited racist behavior when watching an audition tape from a black actor, said the N-word with a hard R when recounting a story about a creator who said the word, showed disgust towards Asian elements, made biting comments about others, had a lack of boundaries, and used coworkers for emotional support. On top of the toxic work environment, Colleen also incorporated disturbing storylines into the show. April alleged Colleen wanted as much inappropriate family dynamic innuendo into the show as possible, and Colleen would spend hours trying to think of a way to show Miranda and Uncle Jim all but having actual intercourse on screen. Colleen's Netflix show wouldn't be the only place she made fun of Black people. Commentary channel and YouTuber Paige Christie revealed Colleen put QR codes in her 2018 book My Diary, and one of the videos redirected to a cover of Beyoncé's Single Ladies, where Colleen's face appeared to be painted dark, presumably to resemble Beyoncé. And while people debated on whether it was green face paint from a previous skit, there were still many other instances where Colleen was caught being insensitive to other races, like this Gangnam Style cover where she mocked Asian languages by singing gibberish. And although Colleen apologized for impersonating Latina women in her 2020 apology video, she had yet to speak up about other races. This time, Colleen's legal representatives addressed the dark face paint controversy, explaining Colleen performed As Long as You're Mine from Wicked and painted her face green to resemble Elphaba, the musical's witch, and after that, went right into Single Ladies while still in the green face paint. Amidst all the allegations, the Oversharing with Colleen and Trish podcast suddenly erased all their content. Remember the allegations that Colleen was mocking Trish's OF content to young Ballinger fans? Well, Johnny revived his old MacBook Pro and found text messages revealing just that. Johnny also shared proof that Colleen and friends had viewing parties of Trisha's OF content. Johnny explained he was 22 when he received these messages. Adam alleged he received some of the same photos at just 14 and 15, although he did not provide photo evidence. Still, what Johnny showed was enough to shake the internet, causing Trisha's name to trend on Twitter. And with Adam making the severe allegation that Colleen sent photos to him while underage, Trisha could no longer stay silent and posted a video on July 3rd.
I do not condone at all sending anyone of anybody, worker or not. I think using someone's as a way to hurt them, make fun of them, make light of them, be mean is the lowest form of human, the lowest form of intelligence. I think that's so inhumane. I think that's so disgusting for anyone.
Trisha explained she was never close friends with Colleen, but they've made videos together on and off since 2018. They became friends when Colleen reached out after Trisha gave birth in fall 2022. Thinking it would be good to have mom friends, Trisha stayed in contact with Colleen.
A month prior, I was in her house meeting her child and doing a mukbang, meeting her newborn and doing a mukbang with her.
Trisha said she initially stuck by Colleen's side in early June, but after seeing proof of Colleen's harmful behavior, Trisha changed her mind.
I don't stand behind Colleen whatsoever. Her video was not an apology, and it took away from the severity of her actions of talking to minors, bringing minors on stage at her show.
In fact, Trisha revealed Colleen flipped the script and accused Adam of sharing Trisha's OF content. Colleen allegedly told Trisha the accusations were made out of context.
I did ask her about these a couple weeks ago before there was the proof, so to speak, right? And she assured me that she had never sent photos of me, that this one fan who was underage at the time would send photos to her. She's like, no, he was a fan, he sent photos to me and he was obsessed with you. And he would just send me it, and once in a while I'd like respond to him and be like, hey, okay. But I kind of gave her outs because I was like, hey, like, you know, we've talked crap about me, that's fine. We weren't that close back then, and she vehemently denied.
Trisha shared a message for Adam and Johnny.
I am so sorry to that person if this is true. I'm so sorry. I know firsthand how traumatizing that can be. I had nothing to do with this. I do not condone it. I think it's the most disgusting thing, and above all else, illegal. And to the person she sent, who was, I think, 20 at the time, maybe 21, I still think it's disgusting.
Trisha also confirmed she knew the man in the photo at Colleen's alleged viewing party.
And there's a friend of hers who I actually met as well back in 2018, with his face posing next to explicit images of me.
Trisha also addressed a video that had been circulating of Colleen comparing Trisha to a whale.
I sent her that as well, and she said everything's taken out of context, like these are lies.
Furthermore, before Johnny shared the text messages, Colleen allegedly reached out to Trisha.
And she sent me the link to her video, her apology video, and I didn't respond back to it because I was shocked. She didn't at least acknowledge the stuff that her own fans were saying, and now it becomes somewhat lighthearted, even though it's not a lighthearted issue.
Trisha called out Colleen's lack of accountability and ended the video by disassociating herself with Colleen.
These people are speaking up and they're uncomfortable for a reason. Acknowledge it, change it, do better. Being told she never sent these photos and these actually do exist, I feel super disrespected, and at least be honest about it to like show some accountability. I'm not going to speak on this again. I will never speak on Colleen again. She just does not exist to me anymore. I'm sure she'll be fine. Just publicly disavowing any association I have with her.
Adam and Johnny responded a day later, giving more context to some of Trisha's comments. Johnny explained the context behind Colleen sending Trisha's OF content, but reiterated that it was still a mean thing to do.
We were in Toledo, Ohio. It was the 26th of July, I believe, 2018, and I went to lunch by myself, and I saw that her, Corey, and Eric went to a little hibachi lunch date, and it hurt my feelings. And rather than her just saying I'm sorry, she started this inside joke where she said, she complimented me and said I looked good that day. And instead of including a picture of me, she included a picture of Trish, which unraveled and turned into this inside joke where I would receive dozens of photos of Trisha Paytas with Colleen implying that it was me, Johnny, in the photos.
Adam addressed Colleen's alleged accusation that he sent her Trisha's OF content.
Did a lot of them, if not most of them, always stem from Colleen? Yes. If I had to think about it, have I ever probably also sent one to Colleen in response to hers? Probably. Probably. Because Colleen used to send them to me!
Adam addressed not having physical proof like Johnny.
I would never say something as serious as Colleen Ballinger would send me, and we would have conversations in regards to pictures and videos about Trisha Paytas if it was not true, or it did not happen. You know the reason? Because I could get sued. I could get sued into the ground and lose everything.
Adam also shared more stories about Colleen. He alleged Colleen had a sinister reason for befriending Trisha.
Colleen used to always talk about the fact that she wants to befriend Trisha because Trisha is a joke to her and Corey specifically. So they enjoy being able to have Trisha at arm's length. But I remember multiple conversations where Colleen said that, you know, her biggest fear would be one day Trisha exposing her, and so they need to be always nice to her.
And this allegedly led to on and off collabs, which, according to Adam, also had secrets.
And Colleen would make fun of her before and after they filmed them videos as well, by the way. Like the time they sent her to the wrong address because they thought it would be funny, and then they filmed Trisha beside them making fun of the fact they sent her to the wrong address. Corey and Colleen specifically are really, really, really nasty people.
The collab video Adam was referring to was a vlog from December 2016, where Trisha almost caught on to Colleen's alleged antics.
Trisha made it! But she almost didn't because I gave her the wrong address.
And I went to that person's house and I was like, hi, and then to be 100% honest, I literally thought you were like pranking me, like making fun of me. I did, I was like, oh my god, it's like Mean Girls, like they were like making fun of me.
Like, yeah. The wrong address, like, this is funny, now she'll never come over.
Yeah.
But back to Trisha's video. Adam and Johnny both apologized to Trisha and redirected the attention back to Colleen, the one they wanted to take accountability.
Trisha, none of this was your fault. You don't need to apologize for it. And I'm really sorry it happened to you. And I'm also really sorry that even though I was 14, that I was engaging in these conversations with her.
Trisha, if you happen to be watching this video again, I wholeheartedly apologize that I took part in these heinous acts.
See it now, Colleen Ballinger is a really person. And none of it is your fault.
All of this is to display and showcase the behavior of this woman along with her family and friends. They're dangerous people and it needs to be broadcasted.
Colleen has yet to respond to her former co-host and friend and the number of new accusations. Online celebrity is a glittering exterior that's just as capable of hiding faults as it is at drawing users in, especially when these users happen to be young.
You cannot believe everything you see online. You can't.
And according to Colleen's accusers, this is exactly the dynamic the YouTuber relied on when engaging in inappropriate conversation, not paying fans for their work, and putting viewers in uncomfortable situations.
So if you're watching this and you're thinking about taking your kids to a Miranda show, I would advise you to think twice because you may come back with years of trauma, and I don't wish that on anyone.
But while allegations continue to surface, so long as questions remain unanswered,
I would just like Colleen Ballinger to please post the receipts of every year, the exact amount of money she donated to the exact organizations. That's all I ask. Please.
And responsibility goes untaken.
No change is going to be made unless people start taking accountability.
Colleen's silence halts the narrative.
Thank you for coming to the show. Are you having fun so far? Thank you so much.
This is the story of Colleen Ballinger, the YouTuber who allegedly took her relationship with fans to unhealthy extremes.